Welcome to ScreenBound. Now, ScreenBound is a very unique 3D, 2D platformer that will make more sense very shortly. It is a game that takes place in both a 3D and 2D world and is very reminiscent of retro 2D platformers with this really unique 3D twist. But this leads to one simple question. Is ScreenBound actually worth your time? So today, we're going to jump into the ScreenBound demo and see what the game's all about. See if it is actually worth your time. See if it is worth the investment. So I've just downloaded the ScreenBound demo from the Steam Next Fest. Now I did actually see this at Summer Games Fest as well. So I want to see Find Me Mom. Okay, Mom. So Mom is stuck in the machine, I guess. And this character, I guess, has picked up the Game Boy, which is probably a legally distinct Game Boy. And we have been transported, I presume, to a digital realm. My God, my PC was struggling there.
The only other person in the cave. Could you help pick me up, please?
Oh, it's the Q Boy. It's not the Game Boy. The Q Boy. So you can hold the select, I don't know what they're called now, Windows select button to move and freely adjust the Q Boy's position until fully initialized. There we are. So now we can select the Windows button to put it away and show it. And if you double tap, it'll reset the position as well. Very interesting. So here is the premise of the game. You'll see that we are operating in a 3D space. I'm moving my character back and forth in a 3D space, as well as moving the character in 2D space as well through a side scroller. Very interesting.
Out of this cave, shall we?
Now, for example, though, you can see here that if I jumped here, there are spikes above me, right? If I jump there, there's spikes. At least in the 2D realm, there's spikes there. Now, in the 3D realm, not so much. There are no spikes there. But the game takes place in both realms, so you need to be really careful about where you stand and what you're kind of doing. So I guess if I jump up there, I might actually get also spiked. Just something to bear in mind, right? I mean, this is just scratching the surface here. I'm gonna see if I can move this Game Boy over to the kind of bottom there, right? That gives me a better view of the 3D environment here. So we have a really nice art style as well, I think. A really nice kind of colorful, almost voxel-based graphics style here.
Mechanics, what happens on your Q Boy will be reflected in the 3D world. You'd be wise to keep your eyes on both.
So I did see a trailer for this game, and I was really interested by it because I kind of thought, well, surely you can just play the game in 3D and you probably don't have to worry about really much of the 2D game. And I think that might actually be the case, but we're gonna play this demo and we're gonna see where we end up. So you can jump higher as well by holding the A button. Now you'll see as we progress through here, our 2D character is picking up these coins, but our 3D character is not picking up these coins. We've reached our first hurdle in 2D. So in 2D, we cannot get up there. But this is a 3D game. So we can actually just go around and we can just go up the stairs.
Oh, great job! Cubes also act as keys. You'll need at least one to pass through the ancient portals at the end of each area. The more you get, the more secrets of the realm will be revealed.
Interesting. So yeah, basically to end the level then we need to collect at least one of those keys. But I'd imagine that the levels maybe have more than one, or maybe the beginning of this zone only has, because this is the first zone, you know, there's only one probably. But if we play through more of the game, maybe there are more to collect. I've gone backwards. That's fantastic. So orientation is not my strong suit. In fact, 2D platformers are actually not my strong suit at all. I really suck at these kind of games. Interestingly here, we have a 3D booster, a booster in the 3D world, so we can gain some extra height off a jump, but that was not there in the 2D world. Oh yeah, here's now the keys. So we've now got two keys. It's interesting to see how these worlds converge, let's say.
allows you to peek between the realms. This helps you see things in 3D that were once only visible in 2D, like that door.
Yeah, so for example, in the 2D world, there's a door there, but currently it's not there. So if we use the Q finder, we can see that there's a door there. Fantastic. Now, how does one use said door exactly? Okay, so I know the doors are there, but how do I... Oh, there's an X button. Press X to use the door. That's game 101, right? So now that we've gone into this kind of side, the door, right? We're now in the shadow realm. This is a sub-dimension, it says in the game.
Somewhere inside. Find it if you can.
Okay, so somewhere in here there is a cube, which is fine, totally fine. I guess we need the cube to leave this world, maybe. I'm not really sure how that works. But you'll see that we are operating in this world only in 2D. Ah, and it's going to lead me to a cube. Nice. So we've gained the cube for this area now, so we can leave through any door that we want, I presume. So I feel like leaving through the right door because it's not on the ground. This is maybe a little bit challenging, I guess. I'm not sure. But now that we're going back out to we're leaving the subdimension, we're going to go back into the 3D, 2D world. In here again, we are on the other side now. That's fantastic. So we've now made it onto the other side of that area. Now we have achieved the 3 keys that we needed, and that has ended. I assume this is the end of the level here. And you can see in 2D there is another portal, and in 3D we can walk through it. So let's see where this takes us. This game does promise to have lots of tools and skills that you will earn by playing the game, and also some really interesting, challenging puzzles. Here we see, this is like a Super Mario style world map, which is very cool. So I guess that's how you go from level to level. Only in 2D, unfortunately for those ones. It feels weird to have this kind of 2D, 3D effect, but only in certain areas. I'm yet to see specifically how the 2D plays into effect in these areas, if that makes any sense.
See that ladder? On your cue, boy. Get those leg muscles ready because it needs climbing. I hope you didn't skip leg day.
I guess the only real thing that I'm seeing here is that in the 2D world, there are more objects that are not visible in the 3D world. So, but ultimately, it kind of feels weird. It's like, well, you could have just made a really good 3D puzzle platformer game, you know? But instead, you've kind of merged the two of them, which is a little bit interesting. In fact, even there's a door. You can't see it, but there's a door there. So we could go in there. Do we need to go in there? I don't know, actually. Oh, I've accidentally hit the bounce pad. Yeah, screw it. Let's go in there and see what happens. There might be a key. So this is, again, the same kind of vibe. Oh, I fucked it. Oh, there's the key, though. The cube, sorry. See, I didn't commit to the bounce pads. I need to commit to the bounce pads by holding left, and I shouldn't doubt myself. And there we got the cube. Perfect. So now we can, we can leave this sub-dimension back into the 3D world. And now that we've collected one of the keys, that means that we can progress to the end of the level. I think pretty much immediately, once you see how this game looks and plays, you're probably going to get a pretty quick vibe for whether this is the game for you. Like, I feel like at the moment, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what this game is to me. Oh, interesting. So we have the bounce pads here that's kind of mimicking the other level. Oh, that took us back to the beginning. That's cool. I'm not sure if this game's for me personally. I'm not really much of a platform person, as I said earlier. I did not grow up with like 2D Mario. I did grow up a little bit on Sonic, but like these just aren't my games. I grew up on like Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, Soul Reaver. I play 3D games, and you know, it's nice to have the convergence here. We've got both 3D and 2D, so in a way, this is appealing to multiple people, I presume. Oh my god, this jump, I cannot do it. This is probably really simple stuff. Probably literally first level shit, and I'm struggling here. For some reason, man. Oh, there's a ladder there. For some reason, man, like just platforms, they just don't cooperate with me. And there's a key right. Oh, okay. We just had to jump over. I didn't even need to use that goddamn bounce pad. Ah, well, I've learnt my lesson, haven't I?
The colorful pinwheels of your cue boy will act as a checkpoint. You'll return to it if you sadly lose all your hearts. And that's bad, so don't do that.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention. On the 2D screen, there is a checkpoint, but it's not in the 3D world. So we've reached a checkpoint, which means that if we fall off the map, like I very generously showed off twice now, that is how you will respawn. Now, if we die a third time, I'm going to presume that it's a game over, that I very kindly showed. Oh, the game is actually being very nice to me. Maybe because this is still tutorial, maybe that you don't have to reset the whole thing, or maybe when you lose your 3 lives, just start at the checkpoint again. I'm not really sure how that works. But we have achieved our 3 keys for this level. There is a red balloon. Oh, in the 2D screen, there is a red balloon. So, oh, and that's going to help us float over. Okay, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Now we're going to put the 3 keys into this, and it's going to open up the portal into the next world. So, as I was saying earlier, you've probably got a vibe already whether this game's for you or not. I think I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, I am interested in this. And I feel like now that I'm playing it, it's probably not for me. I think the concept is really cool. I really like the technology of having a 3D and 2D world converging in this kind of gameplay style. I actually really think that's very cool, and I like the vibe. I like the art style and stuff. But I almost feel like these are 2 separate games in some way. I feel like maybe I feel like this game could be better served as a singular 2D experience, that maybe they could have like, here's a remake of this game but in 3D. If that makes any sense at all. I'm not sure it does. Okay, so we can't actually progress any further. I did see the cube up there, so I wonder if I'm actually supposed to leave this world and maybe come through another door. So again, we're seeing the building of mechanics as this goes on here, because we can't complete the subdimension on our first go round, but maybe we can on the second.
Maybe you can smash it open and see what goodies lie inside. And remember, I get half.
Okay, so there is a in 2D there was a chest there, and we cracked it open and we got a heart, which is cool. So if you do happen to screw up your jumps and lose some hearts, you can actually gain your hearts back through the gameplay. I kind of like that. That's a cool feature, especially for dum-dums like me that don't really play platform games.
I'm sorry to say that she's been ScreenBound, trapped in the Q realm. To get her out, you'll have to collect quite a few cubes. The quantanium they contain can bring things from the Q realm back into the real world. Her last signal came from a place called the Crystal Chain Castle. In order to get there, you'll have to brave the wild. Don't worry, we'll get her out together. Friend, say it back.
And you have this really quirky Q-boy, is that what it's called? Q-boy character, which is interesting. So he's got a bit of wit to him, a bit of a voiceover, a bit of a narration going on. Now, admittedly, in the Steam reviews, unfortunately, that's kind of getting dragged. Like, people don't seem to like this character. Now, it takes me back to... God of War, Ragnarok, I think it was, and how Atreus in that game would constantly talk to you. And in a way, almost spoiled the results of many of the puzzles that you're doing while doing them. And I think many people are kind of getting flashbacks to that kind of, oh, boo. I think many people are kind of getting flashbacks to that kind of mechanic where the companion character just doesn't shut up, and they tell you like the answer to everything before you've even had time to really process everything going on. In 2D and 3D here, there is an access terminal, so we can pop the Q-boy in there, and we have a singular 2D environment, which Oh, interesting. So we're seeing, oh god, oh dear. So we're seeing some of the mechanics then converge, right? Because we're seeing some of these 3D mechanics now coming over to this 2D world, which is very cool. I like that. I like the vibe here. So that's complete the terminal, but what does the terminal completion do? I don't know. It didn't do anything. I don't know why it did that. Oh, maybe it turned on the fan. Maybe? Oh, so maybe you had to do that to finish the level. Oh, but I'm missing a key. Oh, we can continue then. So the game was right. You only had to do one key, but we are missing one, and I know where it is. It's in that sub-dimension because we left that area hoping to find it later, but we didn't. So I'm gonna task you with finding that. I hope you find that in your playthrough because I didn't. So maybe you can find out how to do that. Now I'm wondering if the cubes have a kind of feature here. So we've collected I thought we collected 83 cubes, but it's only 8. But yeah, if we had 9, we could have done that optional world. So again, if you play this demo and you unlock that 9th cube, it's definitely worth it. Let's continue on to Afternoon Islands, and again we're gonna see if we can get 3 cubes here in this world. I still don't feel like the gameplay mechanic is very complicated, right?
Danger, there's a spike ball on your cuboid screen. It might not be visible in 3D, but it can still poke you.
Oh, it is in the... Oh, so I didn't even see that. So again, I wasn't paying attention really to the... I just wasn't paying attention to the 2D screen, and I didn't really see that. And it didn't really affect me in any real way. In fact, I managed to avoid it entirely. If the game hadn't told me it was there, I probably wouldn't have realized. So I don't know if, like, I know the game's going to get more complicated as it goes on, right? It's not going to be this simple forever. And again, it's a complicated mechanic, and I don't really, it's maybe too much. See, even, it's maybe too complicated, you know, to keep an eye on 2 things at the same time like this. If this was like, oh, see, I didn't even see that, and I just lost 2 hearts. Fantastic. I wonder if maybe this would be really good suited to something like a 3DS, you know, something with dual screens. In fact, I have a Galaxy Fold phone, and I could imagine like playing this on 2 separate screens would be really good. Now, I'm not saying that this is a mobile game or even worthy of, you know, I don't want to drag mobile games because they're not bad games. It's an interesting mechanic that has been turned into a full game that I'm not sure how I personally feel about.
When it comes to these blocks, it's all about timing, speed, and timing.
So I accidentally jumped too early there. So these are, when they start blinking, you gotta jump, bro. I'm gonna have to wait for these cubes to respawn now, and then I have to wait for them to blink, and then that's my signal to jump. And see, admittedly, I'm being persuaded by the Steam reviews here, but I did see a pretty fair, or at least I feel like it was a fair Steam review, saying that the 2D screen, oh my god, I'm so bad at this. I did see a pretty fair review saying that the 2D screen was maybe a little bit too zoomed in, which is crazy because it actually is quite zoomed out. But I feel like in a way, I kind of get what they mean. Like, I feel like I'm not getting a lot of environmental context from my current kind of vantage point. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Click off this goddamn video. This is not my game. I mean, hey, I'm still having fun. But I think for what it's worth, I think the aesthetic of the game is really good. Like, I think they've nailed the kind of vibe of the game. Just because I'm bad at the game doesn't mean I'm not having fun. You know, and that's something I think is quite important when you're developing a video game that is supposed to be fun. I would argue they've kind of nailed that in a way. Like, I'm having fun, even if it's not my type of game. Holy Yeah, this room might be the end of us, I'll have to be honest. As long as I don't die one more time. I'm being so focused right now. Okay, so I think I'm going to retain that cube then. If I die and lose my last... Oh, there we are. We've got the 3 cubes. And that is back to the main world then. Now, I'm not actually sure how big this demo is. There's probably quite a few more levels. Oh, well, this is the end of the... This looks like it's the end of the first world. I can't actually freely look through the worlds, unfortunately, so I'm not really sure how much further this goes, but I think we can wrap this up here. So what you've seen of the game so far is basically the game. Now, according to the Steam reviews, there is more to come. There are more mechanics, more tools, more skills. There's going to be a lot of really interesting, challenging puzzles that will require keeping an eye on both the 2D and the 3D worlds, as well as having those new tools and gameplay mechanics thrown in there as well. Obviously, the Cube Boy and the fact that you're a character, I think his name was Pav, looking for his mother, who seems to be trapped in the Cube Boy, then there's narrative here, there is storyline. So if you do enjoy kind of unraveling the mystery and the story here as well, then there is definitely something there for you. I personally, this game's not for me. Like, I'm flat out gonna say that, but I'm not gonna hate on it. I actually think they've got something really special going on here. I think the gameplay is really fun. I like the vibe, and I really like the kind of voxel art style they've got going on as well. So I think there's lots of really good stuff here. It just doesn't appeal to me, and that isn't a bad thing because video games aren't for everyone. And I think what they're appealing to here is specifically kind of some kind of middle ground person of somebody who has experienced the old style platform games and the new ones, and maybe wants to kind of see that middle ground. If you've ever wanted to play a version of, you know, a kind of a Mario, but also like the 2D and 3D at the same time, this game is for you. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it when it comes out. I don't think there's a release date on this one. Oh, it comes out in September. Okay, so there's actually not a long time before the game comes out. But to be fair to the developers, they've been very, very vocal on social media and the Steam reviews. So they are listening to people's feedback, and they are they seem engaged. I think that they're very keen to make a very good game, and I think they have a good game here. So if you have played this demo or you're going to get the full game, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you have a great time with it. Or if you didn't like it, maybe drop the comment and let me know what you didn't like about it, and maybe the devs will see that too, because there are bugs and there are issues, and obviously they will want to take that into account, but they also potentially want to take into account people who are not interested in the game, like me, because that may inform future games that they do. So that it's important that we give the feedback. As long as it is constructive and relevant and not hateful, then it is important to, you know, give that feedback if it's necessary, which I feel like I have done, and I hope that you have been informed. With that being said, I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.